Okay. Good morning, Buddha. Well, actually, we have discussed equations of linear motions up to our previous class. I think we have discussed the displacement in the nth second, no? In our last class, we have discussed that thing. Okay. Altogether, there are 5 equations, but among those 5 equations, the initial 4 is the standard equation, and final equation, that means Sn equal u plus a over 2 times 2n minus 1. This is not a standard equation, but still you can use this equation in MCQ questions. Okay. So altogether there are 5 equations. Among those 5 equations, 4 can be used as standard equations. This one is not a standard equation, but you can use that equation in MCQs. Okay. Yeah. So we have discussed VT curves as well as equations of linear motions up to now. Now we are going to discuss about projectiles. Projectiles means motion under gravity. Okay. Then write a topic. Motion under gravity. Okay. Motion under gravity means, suppose if we throw a stone or something in space, this space, you can clearly see that motion or that stone will experience gravitational force, no? So actually, not only the gravitational force, there may be some air resistance or some wind forces, so those kind of another resistive forces will be there. But we are not going to consider all the forces acting on that motion. We are going to consider only the gravitational force acting on that motion. Therefore, we call those kind of motion as motion under gravity. Motion under gravity. That means there is only one force we are going to consider, that is gravitational force. But you have to remember, not only the gravitational force, there may be air resistance, some wind forces, some upthrust will be there. So those kind of additional forces might be experienced by that stone. Okay. But we are not going to consider all the forces because it will be much complicated. So we are going to consider about only the gravitational force. Again, අපි stone එකක් උඩ දැම්මොත් එහෙම පුතේ stone එකක් උඩ දැම්මොත් එහෙම ඒක ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා ඒක අනිවාර්යෙන් ගිහිල්ලා බිම වැටෙනවා. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් gravitational force එකක් එයාට add කරලා තියෙනවා. හරිද? ඒ gravitation normally අපි stone එකක් උඩ දැම්මොත් හරි මොකක් හරි අර space එක තුලින් මොකක් හරි දෙයක් යවුවොත් අනිවාර්යෙන් එයා air resistance, ඊට පස්සේ wind forces, ඒ වගේ ඕන දේ ඒ හැම දෙයක්ම එයා experience කරනවා. හැබැයි අපි මෙතන consider කරන්නේ gravitational force විතරයි. ඊටු කිසිම දෙයක් consider කරන්නේ නැහැ. Okay. So due to the gravitational force, there might actually there is an acceleration. Okay. That acceleration can be considered as a constant acceleration, but it is not constant value, but it is almost constant. Normally, that acceleration may vary with the height, but normally we consider about some small heights. Therefore, we can consider that acceleration is a constant throughout that motion. That acceleration is called as gravitational acceleration or acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So acceleration due to gravity or gravitational acceleration can be considered as constant, but it is not constant. It is varying with the height. Okay. When height is increasing, the gravitational acceleration will decrease. Okay. But normally we consider it is a constant. Right? Okay. Then motion under gravity means if we throw a stone or if we actually it is something like throwing a stone in a space. Okay, that is stone is moving under the gravitational force. So motion under gravity means if there is a motion under the gravitational force, we call it as motion under gravity. This can be divided into two main categories. Vertical motions and inclined motion. Vertical and inclined motion. Vertical means if you throw a stone or something vertically upward direction, or if we drop a stone vertically downward direction, the motion is vertical motion. So we call it as vertical motions. If we throw a ball or something, if we draw a ball, it is an inclined motion. It is inclined to the Earth's surface. Therefore, those kind of motions are called as inclined motions. So, motion under the gravity can be divided into two categories: vertical and inclined. Vertical means if the motion is perpendicular to the Earth's surface, we call it as vertical motions. Okay. Okay, then write a topic: motion under the gravity. All together, we call these motions as projectiles. Okay, projectiles. So motion under the gravity can be named as projectiles. 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 Right under that. Right under that. If if a body is moving, if a body is moving under the gravitational force, its motion is called is called is called a motion under gravity. A motion under gravity or projectile or projectile. Example, throwing a ball or stone, throwing a ball or stone. Write in another paragraph. If the ball or stone if the ball or stone is moving in the space, is moving in the space, they will experience various forces. Various forces. I will repeat that one. If the ball or stone is moving in this space, it will experience various forces, various forces, such as air resistance, wind forces, upthrust, etc. Upthrust, etc. But we will consider the gravitational force only. But we will consider the gravitational force only. There are two types of motions under gravity. There are two types of motions under gravity. Vertical. Vertical means perpendicular to the Earth's surface. Like an incline. It's inclined to the Earth's surface. Inclined to the Earth's surface. Those are the two motion types under the gravity. They write a subtopic. Vertical motions under gravity. Vertical motions under gravity. That is the first topic. Write a subtopic. Vertical motions under gravity. Vertical motions under gravity. Okay, right under that, if a body is moving vertically upward or downward directions, vertically upward or downward directions, come on, it experiences it experiences a downward acceleration, due to the gravitational force, of the earth, due to the gravitational force of the earth. අරක පොතක් තියාගෙන පුතේ දැන් අපි දැන් මේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල් එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ අපි දැන් සාමාන්‍ය අපේ රොකට් එකක් වගේ යන එකක් අපිට ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල් එකක් විදිහට කන්සිඩර් කරන්න බෑ. මොකද ඒකේ එන්ජින් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකේ එන්ජින් මේකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකත් එක්ක යා මේකක්ද වෙනම ඇක්සලරේෂන් එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒගොල්ලන්ට. හරිද? අපි ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල් එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි ට්‍රෝ එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම අපි මොකක් හරි ගලක් විසි කරන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් මොකක් හරි ඔය මේ දෙයක් උඩ ඉඳන් වැටෙන එකක් සලකන්න. ඒ වගේ දැන් ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඒක අර ගලක් විසිකාර පස්සේ ගල ඇතුලේ එන්ජින් එකක් නැහැනේ. එයාට ඇක්සලරේට් කරගන්න බෑ. හරිද? දැන් අපි නිකම් පෑනක් වැදලා වටනොත් එහෙම පෑන ඇතුලේ එන්ජින් එකක් නැහැ. එයාට ඇක්සලරේෂන් එකක් කරගන්න බෑ. හරිද? ඒක නිසා ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල් එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් අන්නේ වගේ මෝෂන් එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම එයාට ඇක්සලරේෂන් එක කරගන්න බෑ. අපි අර ඇක්සලරේෂන් එක තියෙන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් ග්‍රැවිටේෂනල් ඇක්සලරේෂන් එක විතරමයි. හරිද? දැන් රොකට් වුණත් ඉතින් රොකට් වුණත් අර විදියට නිකන් අර එන්ජින් එකේ බලපෑමෙන් තොරව යනවා නම් ඔය කන්සිඩර් කරන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල් එකක් විදියට. නමුත් අර එන්ජින් එකක බලපෑමක් මත මොකක් හරි ඇක්සලරේෂන් එකක් ගන්නවා නම් එයා ස්කයි එකේ මූව් වුණා කියලා එයා ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල් එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල් එකක් වෙන්නේ අපි සලකන්නේ ග්‍රැවිටේෂනල් ෆෝස් එක විතරක් කන්සිඩර් වෙන අවස්ථාවක් විතරයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ග්‍රැවිටේෂනල් ෆෝස් එකේ යටතේ විතරක් සිදුවන මෝෂන් තමයි අපි ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල්ස් කියලා ගන්න. හරි? හරි. Okay. This acceleration is called as gravitational acceleration. Gravitational acceleration. Gravitational acceleration. We know we can represent it as G, okay? G, gravitational acceleration. Acceleration. Normally, the value of G normally it is equal 10 or 9.81 ms minus 2. Okay. It is approximately equal to the 9.81 ms minus 2 on the surface. So normally for the calculations, we consider it as 10, but both can be considered. But remember, when you are going to going to do the exam paper, it is mentioned. Okay, it is mentioned. So we cannot use any value other than the mentions value. Okay, mention value. Again, paper के mention करको value की तरह करना नहीं. Paper की mention करला तीन value का. है. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට paper එකේ මුලම දෙන value stream. එහෙම නැත්නම් අදාළ question එක දෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් normally මුලින්ම paper එකේ values ටික දෙනවා. මෙන්න මේ value එක මෙන් ගන්න මේ value එක මෙන් ගන්න කියලා. ඒක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. ඒ values ටික තමයි use කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාලා වෙන values use කරන්න බෑ. හරි. ඒ නිසානේ මම හිතන් හිටියේ 10 නේ මේක කොහොමද 9.8 දාන්නේ අනම්මනම් කියලා එහෙම කියාගෙන එන්න එපා. මොකද paper එකේ දීලා තියෙන 9.8 වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. ඒ නිසා හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. question එකේ දීලා නැත්නම් paper එකේ දීලා තියෙන්න ඕනි. paper එකේ දීලා paper එකේ උඩ දීලා තියෙන්න ඕනි. paper එකේ උඩ දීලා නැත්නම් question එකේ දීලා තියෙන්න. හරි. ඔක term test paper වල නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. term test paper වල ඉතින් අපිට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඕන දෙයක් use කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි L paper එකේ අනිවාර්යෙන් මේක mention කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒක නේද කරන්න බෑ. හරි. Formula දෙන්න බලන්න G gravitational acceleration G.C.E equal 10 or 9.8. මේක ලියගන්න. Okay. Right under that. Gravitational acceleration varies with the height. Gravitational acceleration varies with the height. But we consider it as a constant value. We consider it as a constant value throughout the motion. Throughout the motion. Suppose if we project a stone vertically upward direction, if we project a stone in vertically upward direction, what will happen? What will happen? Hmm? Hmm? It will go vertically upward, no? Vertically upward, and it will attain a maximum height. Maximum height. After that point, so it is actually it moves up to a maximum point, and after that point it will move again towards the downward direction. නේ අපි ගලක් උඩ දැම්මොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? අපි අර කියන්නේ කතාවට උඩ පැන්නොත් බිම වැටෙනවා කියලානේ. ඒ වගේ තමයි උඩ දැම්මොත් අනිවාර්යෙන් බිම වැටෙනවා. ග්‍රැවිටේෂනල් ෆෝස් එකෙන් තමයි කියලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි. ඒක නිසා මොකක් අපේ ස්ටෝන් එකක් උඩ දැම්මොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ආයසරයක් යා මැක්සිමම් හයිට් එකකට ගිහිල්ලා ආයසර වැටෙනවා. So if we throw a ball vertically upward direction, it moves up to some maximum point, then it moves again towards the downward direction. Okay. So at that point, at this maximum point, what will happen? Okay. You know the gravitational acceleration is in downward direction. So the gravitational acceleration in downward direction, that means if we throw a ball towards the upward direction, that means there will be a deceleration. There will be a deceleration towards the upward direction. Okay. Because acceleration is in downward direction, therefore, in upward direction, there should be a deceleration. Therefore, if we throw a ball towards the upward direction, definitely that ball moves in a deceleration. So the velocity of that ball gradually decreases, and finally the value, the magnitude will be equal to zero. At the maximum height. Then what will happen? Then it moves in downward direction. Okay. Hard. So due to the deceleration, actually, if I throw a ball in the upper direction, what will happen? Its velocity or speed gradually decreases, and at the maximum point, the velocity will be equal to zero. Okay. So that point is called as maximum point or maximum height. This is called as maximum height. Maximum height of the projectile or maximum height of the motion. Okay. Suppose it is h. We can find the value of h. Suppose this is A and this is B. H means from here to here distance. No? H means here to here distance. So if you want to find H, we can use equations of linear motion. velocity will be 0 at the maximum height. So if we want to find the maximum height, we can use the equations of linear motions. So now you know the relevant data. Tell me, what is the equation you are going to use to find h? What is the equation you are going to use? What is the equation you are going to use? Yeah, very good. S equal ut plus half at square, no? Half at square. Okay. That is good. That is good. That is one thing. But the thing, no, we cannot, no? Sorry. We don't know time. Therefore, yeah, your answer is correct. Okay, you have u plus v over 2 times. T there, T there. No, we cannot use that. We cannot use because there's T here. We don't know T. We want to find H. We want to find H. We don't know time. We don't know time. We know the initial velocity, the final velocity, and the acceleration. Then, what is the equation you are going to use?
V squared equals u squared plus 2s.
Very good, very good. V squared equal u squared plus 2h. So, from A to B, towards the upward direction, I can apply V square equal u square plus 2as. So v squared in here, v squared 0, u squared, you know u squared, and 2ah. A mean acceleration. Now you know the acceleration is the gravitational acceleration. It is in the downward direction. But I apply this equation in upward direction. I apply this equation in upward direction, but the acceleration in the downward direction. So the acceleration will be minus 2gh. Therefore, the maximum height is equal u squared over 2g. U squared over 2g. මේක කරපාඩම් කරගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. හැබැයි පොඩ්ඩක් ඔළුවේ තිබ්බොත් ඒක ටක් ගාලා හදාගන්න පුළුවන් questions. හරිද? විශේෂයෙන් MCQ questions. හැබැයි මේක පාඩම් කරලා essay questions හදන්න බෑ. essay question එක තනිකරම equation එක දාන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? හැබැයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගණන් හදලා experience එක ආවට පස්සේ මේ steps දෙකම නැතුව මේක කෙලින්ම use කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? ඒකේ තේරුම මේක මතක තියාගෙන දානවා කියන එක නෙවෙයි. මේ steps දෙකම නැතුව මේක step දෙකක් ඉස්සරහට එනවා කියන්නේ. හරිද? That is the maximum height, okay? Now we can find the time taken to the maximum height. Time taken to the maximum height. Now you can use that equation. S equal u plus v over 2 times t. Yeah? From A to B in upward direction, S equal u plus v over 2 times t. Then S, you know S value, you know S value, it is equal u squared over 2g, u squared over 2g is equal u plus v. U plus v means v 0. Therefore, u over 2 times v. U over 2 times v. Or otherwise, you can use v equal u plus 80. V equal u plus 80. That is also easy equation. This one will be cancelled out. This one will be cancelled out. So t is equal U over G. U over G. Is equal U over G. Right. So that is the maximum height and time taken to the maximum height. Right. Then you can find the velocity. The velocity at this point. At this point means the object will be reached to the ground. No? When this ball is reaching to the ground, the velocity can be determined. How to determine that velocity? How the velocity determined? How again? Equal you. Mangaling ako again. Deceleration and acceleration है. Whether deceleration and acceleration है कि देखा ना है acceleration है कितना है acceleration है direction है इधर है मान हाँ वाक्य ने में वाक्य में उठे करें हरी ये मत हरी yeah but you have to mention you have to find that one using the equation ¿cómo la gran mega equation in cómo la mega penal now you want to find the velocity at the point A again. So you can use various type of equations, but I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use A to A. I will use an equation. I will use an equation from A to A. What is that one? A to A again. A to A. That means my starting point A and end point also A. A to A. A to A. I'm going to use is equal U plus V over 2 times T. In any direction, in upward or downward, in any direction. A to A, tell me, from A to A, what is the displacement? Displacement? Yes, very good, 0. A to A displacement is 0. A to A displacement is 0. Then U plus V over 2 times T. You know A to A, time cannot be 0, no? Now there are two terms. This is one term, this is another term. The product of two terms is equal to 0. Therefore, this one might be 0 or this one might be 0. But you know, time cannot be 0. Time cannot be 0 because there should be a time. There should be some value. Therefore, time should have some value. Therefore, definitely, this part, that means U plus V over 2 part should be equal to 0. Therefore, U plus V over 2 is equal to 0. That means V is equal to minus U. V is equal to minus U. V is equal to minus U means the magnitude is same, but direction is different, opposite. අනිත් ඉක්වේෂන් එක මොකක්ද පුතේ? තව ඉක්වේෂන්ස් ගන්න පුළුවන් ඕනතරම්. ඕනතරම් ඉක්වේෂන්ස් ගන්න පුළුවන්. v එක තියෙන ඉක්වේෂන්ස් ඕන එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. v squared over v squared equal u squared plus 2as එක ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. මේ වගේ ඒ ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ i v equal u plus 80 v equal u plus 80 ඒක ටිකක් අමාරුයි නේ. ටයිම් එක ආයෙත් දාන්න බැහැ. ප්ලස් or මයිනස් කියලා එනවා. ඉතින් ප්ලස් or මයිනස් කියලා එන්නේ මෙතන තියෙන velocities දෙක. ඔයා අත්තර මෙතන හොයන්නේ a වලදී velocity කෙනෙක් පුතේ. a වලදී velocity එක තමයි හොයන්නේ. එතකොට ප්ලස් or මයිනස් කියලා එන්න ඕනේ. ප්ලස් එක තමයි මේක. මයිනස් එක තමයි මේක. ඒකයි. ඒ දෙකම එනවා. quadratic equation එකක් ආවොත් ඒ දෙකම එනවා. හරි. v is equal minus u. v is equal minus u. That means the velocity at this point is u towards the downward direction. Therefore, velocity, the final velocity is equal to the initial velocity, but in the magnitude, but direction is opposite. Right. මේක දාගමු. මේව දාගන්න. Okay. මේව දාගන්නකො මේක. මොකද්ද? topic එකක්. Finding the values in a vertical motion. Finding the values in a vertical motion. Write down that. Suppose a ball is thrown vertically upward direction. As the gravitational acceleration is in downward direction, the ball will be subjected to a deceleration, to a deceleration. So the velocity of the ball, gradually decreases, gradually decreases, gradually decreases gradually decreases, and finally comes to zero. Finally comes to zero. At that point, at that point, the moving direction of the ball, the moving direction of the ball the moving direction of the ball will be changed, and it will start to move in downward direction. It will start to move in downward direction. Therefore, that is the maximum height. Therefore, that is the maximum height attained by the ball. That is the maximum height attained by the ball. That is the maximum height attained by the ball. මේක එක එක්සෑම් එක අහලා තිබ්බ හොඳ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. හරිද? දැන් අපිට පුතේ මේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ටයිල්ස් වර්ග දෙකක් තියෙනවානේ. එකක් තමයි මේ vertical projectiles අනික incline එක. හරිද? ඒක අහලා තිබ්බ incline එකක් ගැන. හරිද? දැන් incline එකකයි මේකකයි තියෙන එක ප්‍රධාන වෙනසක් තමයි මම මේ කතා කරන්නේ. මේ at the maximum height, at the maximum height, the velocity of the ball, the velocity of the projection is equal to zero. Is equal to zero. So if it is a vertical projection at the maximum point, the velocity will be zero. Velocity will be zero. But if it is a inclined projection, the velocity will not be equal to 0. Will not be equal to 0. මම කියන්නම් ඇයි කියලා. මම ඒක ඒවල කියන්න ඇයි කියලා. incline projection එකක් නම් maximum point එකේදී velocity එක කවදාවත් 0 වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි vertical projection එකක් නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් maximum point එකේදී velocity එක 0 වෙනවා. හරි. හිතන්න මම මොකද කිව්වේ කියලා. මම ඕගොල්ලන්ට ආන්සර් එක දෙනවා incline motions වලදී ඊට කලින් හිතලා ආදර පුළුවන් නම් මට ආන්සර් එක දෙන්න මම මොකද මේ කිව්වේ. හරිද? ඇටි ලියන්න ස්පෙෂල් නෝට් එකක් විදිහට නෝට් එකක් දාගන්න. The velocity of a vertical projection, the velocity of a vertical projection is equal to 0, is equal to 0 is equal to 0 at its maximum height, at its maximum height. මට මේකට ආන්සර් එකක් දෙන්න. No, there is not the answer. There is common for both projection. So gravitational acceleration is there for both position, not only vertical. So at the maximum height, is the acceleration 0? At the maximum height, is the acceleration 0? No. Why? Yes. Why? Yeah, acceleration is a constant. Acceleration is a constant because throughout the motion, there is only one acceleration, that is gravitational acceleration. There it is in the downward direction. So, what am I? පුංචි tricks තියෙන අර මේ අර මොනවද අපි ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකක් දීලා ඒ ස්ටේට්මන්ට් සරදවල දීලා බලන්න තියෙන්නේ. I don't know. හරිද? දෙන්න පුළුවන්. මෙතනදී maximum point එකේදී acceleration එක 0 වේ. හරිද? දීපුවා සමහර ඩෝන් ගාලා යන්න දෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේ වගේ දේවල් තියෙනවා. හරිද? අපිට අර velocity acceleration එක සමහර ටැප් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ටැප් වෙලත් ඒකට හරි කියලා දාන්න පුළුවන්. මේ වගේ දේවල් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා හොඳට කල්පනාවෙන් ආන්සර්ස් දෙන්න ඕනේ තැන් ආවා. Okay. එහෙනම් අපි හොයමු මේ අදාළ characteristic හොයමු. හරි. එහෙනම් පුංචි subtopic එකක් දාගන්න. Determining the maximum height attained by the ball. Determining the maximum height attained by the ball. කියලා මේක අඳගන්න අඳගෙන මෙතනට ඕන කල් කියලා මේක කොටු කරගන්න. Topic is determining the maximum height attained by the ball or projection. Maximum height attained. Maximum height attained by the ball law projection. Maximum height attained so the first subtopic is maximum height attained. The second one is time taken to the maximum height. Time taken to the maximum height के लगेगा था. Time taken to the maximum height. Okay. Third one. This is third one. That is the velocity, the final velocity. The final velocity. Third one is final velocity. Final velocity. That is the third topic. Okay. The first topic is determine the maximum height attained. So this is this one. After that, second one is time taken to the maximum height. You can write this one. Then third one is final velocity. Okay. Pagda here. Shall I erase the board? Maximum height attained, final velocity. Then the final one, fourth one. Time taken for the entire journey. Time taken for the entire journey. Entire motion. Time taken for the entire motion. Entire motion means A to A, ne buta? Entire motion means A to A. So I can write an equation from A to A. From A to A. Time taken from A to A. So S equal ut plus half at square. I go on. If we apply that one, result. No, we can use. S equal ut plus half at square. As I apply this equation from A to A, the displacement will be 0. A to A means from initial point is for this one, final point also this one, therefore displacement is 0. Initial velocity is u, ut. As I apply this equation towards the upward direction, then the gravitational acceleration will be 0 because it is in downward direction. Minus g over 2 times t square. Okay. Then now there is a quadratic equation. One is t. This is a, so for these two terms, t is a common factor, so you can take one t out. U over g times t is 0. Okay. So now there is a product of two terms which is equal to 0. Therefore, if t equals 0 or u minus g t over 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, t equals 0 or you may subject t from here, t is equal to u over g, to u over actually twice of this one, 2 u over g. Now there are two answers. One is t equals 0, other one is t equal to u over g. So what is the correct answer? What is the correct answer? And how to neglect the other one? Can anyone tell me? Now what are the answers දෙකක් තියෙනවා. හරි correct answer එක 2u g කියලා කොහොමද කියන්නේ අපි? අනිත් එක අයින් කරන්න කොහොමද? මේක අයින් කරන්න කොහොමද? t මේක නෙවෙයි කියලා කියන්නේ.
Time cannot be equal to 0.
පුළුවන්. Time cannot be negative, but it can be equal to 0.
The entire journey.
Actually, both are correct. Both are correct. What is the problem here? I have applied the equation from A to A. That means I want to find the time when the ball is at the point A. I want to find the time when the ball is at point A. Actually, ball is at point A in 2 times. First occasion is at the beginning. At the beginning, the ball was at the point A. And after the journey, the ball again at the time of point A. Therefore, there are two occasions. There are two occasions where the ball is at point A. Ball point A එක තියෙන occasions දෙකක් තියෙනවා. හරි. ඒ occasions දෙකට අදාළ time දෙක තමයි මේ. හරිනේ තිබුණේ. At the beginning, ball is at point A. At the beginning, ball is at the point A and time is 0. Time is 0. So this one represents the beginning. The beginning. This one represents the final one. Okay. Therefore, you can select this one. The ball is at point A in 2 occasions. One is at the beginning, other one is at the end. So t equals 0 represent the beginning. This one represent the final one. ඕක තමයි answer. ආයෙකමක් කියන්නම්කෝ. මෙතන ලියන්න. Okay, the fourth one. തേർന്നോ അത് ഷാക്യ? The ball is at point A in two occasions. First one is at the beginning, second one is at the end. Then t equals 0 represent the beginning. So t equal to u over g represents the end. Therefore, t equal 2 times u over g represents the end. Therefore, t final is equal to u over g. 2u over g. Have it. හරි පුතේ. ඉරිෂා අපි මේ මොකද්ද projectiles vertical projectiles ඉවර කරා theory part එක. ඒකද ආවෙ තියෙන අපි questions ගන්න යන්නේ. ඒ අදාළ recording එක දාන්නම් ඒක බලන්න මොකද මම හෙට කරන්නේ මේකම තමයි. Monday. ඊට කලින් පොඩ්ඩක් බලා ගන්න. හරි. Shall we do this one? First three questions. Podcast කරන්න. First two questions කරන්න. First two questions. Quick to do the first two questions. Sorry. So what is the answer for first question? Answers for first questions? 125. Ah. So time taken is 5 seconds. You asked to find the distance. So what is the equation you use to solve this question? What is the equation? A, B, here gravitational acceleration G. So A to B you have to find the distance or displacement. You know the values of initial velocity, the gravitational acceleration and time. U, A and T. So you have to use S equal UT plus half AT square, no? From A to B in downward direction, S equal UT plus half AT square. S, that is the one you have to find. H is equal, initial velocity is 0. The gravitational acceleration is in the direction which we selected. No, therefore, the value of gravitational acceleration is positive. Plus half 10 square t square. T square means 25. 25. So it is equal 125 meters. 125 meters. Very good. The second one. Its velocity traveling 20 meters from the starting point. Its velocity is traveling 20 meters from the starting point. Meter is past the starting point. Then velocity honey. Now you know the initial velocity. The travel distance it is 20 meters. U is equal 0 and gravitational acceleration. You need to find V. So what is the equation you are going to use? What is the equation you are going to use? In here, you want to find the value of V, therefore definitely the equation should include that one V, and you know the value of S, U and G. There's no T. Therefore, V squared equal U squared plus 2S. A to B in downward direction, V squared equal U squared plus 2S. That is the equation. V square, U square is 0, 2 times A. Wow. Gravitational acceleration now, normally gravitational acceleration in downward direction, we choose the direction as, we choose the direction in the downward direction, therefore both direction are same. So it is positive 10, H 20. SV is 20. The tower distance is 20. Therefore, answer is 20 meter. 20 meter. This one also 20. 20 into 20. V square is equal 20 into 20. Therefore, V is equal 20 ms minus 1. 20 ms minus 1. Third one. The time taken to travel 45 meters from the starting point. Time taken to travel 45 meters from the starting point. Now 45 meters is travel. Initial velocity is 0. G is in this location, this one. You have to find it. You have to find it. This is A, B. Therefore, from A to B, in downward direction, you have to find time. You have to find time. You know the value of U, G, and S. Therefore, the equation is S equal UT plus half KT square. S equal UT plus half AT square. S is 45 because initial velocity is 0. Again, the selected direction and the direction of gravitational acceleration are same. Therefore, it is positive. So plus 5 t square. This one will be cancelled out. It is 9. So t is equal 3 seconds. T is equal 3 seconds. And how are the answers here? Answers how? Then second one. The second one. Find the maximum height. Find the maximum height and time taken by the object. Object projected vertically upward with the velocity with the okay. I will. It is this one. Now, an object is projected vertically upward direction with a velocity of 40 ms minus 1. 40 ms minus 1. We have to find the maximum height attained and the time taken. And time taken by time taken to the maximum height. Time taken to the maximum height. Now, the initial velocity is 40 ms minus 1. You know, at the maximum height, velocity is 0. Velocity is 0. So you need to find maximum height. G is there, it is in downward direction. A to B. So A to B, first you have to find the maximum height. Then I can write an equation from A to B in upward direction. You want to find the maximum height, but you don't know the time, and you know the initial and final velocities and acceleration. So you have to use v squared equal u squared plus 2s. V squared equal u squared plus 2s. එහෙනම් මේක දැම්මට පස්සේ කිලින්ම ඔයාලට මතක නම් අර ඉක්වේෂන් එක දැම්ම නම් කිලින්ම හරි අවුලක් නැහැ. නැත්නම් මම ආයෙත් පළවෙනි කාරණේ සම කරන්නම්. This is 0. So u squared a. Now I have applied this equation in upward direction, but the acceleration is in downward direction. Therefore, this one is minus 2gh. Therefore, h is equal u squared over 2g. U squared over 2g. මේක ලියලා මේක මතක නම් මේ ස්ටෙප් එක නොලියුවත් කමන්නේ. So h is equal u squared means 40 into 40 over 20. So this one will be 2. So h is equal 80 meters. 80 meters. Now time taken to the maximum height. Time taken to the maximum height. So you have to use an equation from A to B again. You know the final velocity, initial velocity, and gravitational acceleration. So I think the easiest equation is V equal U plus 80. V equal U plus 80. Now you can use various type of equations because you know the height also. Therefore, you can use another type of equations like such as s equal ut plus 80 squared, half 80 squared, then s equal u plus v over 2 times t, likewise. But the easiest one is this one. V is 0, initial velocity is 40. Acceleration is minus because I'm using this equation in upward direction, acceleration in downward direction. So therefore, this one is minus 10t. Therefore, 0 to 0 will be cancelled out. T is equal 4 seconds. T is equal 4 seconds. How? Okay. එහෙනම් අපි ඊළඟට පුතේ අපේ ඊළඟ ක්ලාස් එක අපි අඩ පටන් ගමු. මතක තියාගන්න අය අපි මන්ඩේ හෙටත් මේ විදිහටම අපේ එක්ස්ට්‍රා ක්ලාස් එකක් තියෙනවා 5 to 8 වෙනකන් තියෙනවා. එක්ස්ට්‍රා ක්ලාස් එක මම කියන ගොඩක් අපි අද මේ force equilibrium ඉවර කරන විදිහත් එක්ක බලලා මට දෙන්න ගොඩක් වෙලාවට force equilibrium ක්ලාස් එකක් දාගත්තොත් හොඳයි කියලා Monday morning. ඊළඟට මොකද දැන් අපි linear motions කතා කරා මේක අහුවෙච්ච නැති කට්ටියට Monday evening වෙනකන් යනකොට කටයින් තියෙනවා රෙකෝඩින් එක බලන්න. ඒක නිසා මට හිතෙනවා force equilibrium කරත් හොඳයි කියලා හෙට උදේ ඒක එක්ස්ට්‍රා ක්ලාස් එකක්. එතකොට හෙට හවස ආයසරයක් අපේ ක්ලාස් එක කොහොමද තියෙනවා Monday evening ක්ලාස් එක පුතේ මේ 7 to 20 ඇති. ඒක මේ linear motion. එතකොට මේ linear motions ක්ලාස් එකේදී මම දැන් ඔය form assignment එක ඩිස්කස් කරනවා. ඒක කරලා තියන්න. එතන questions 15ක් දෙපෙළ තියෙනවා 15 questions තියෙනවා. ඒක ටික කරලා තියන්න. එතකොට ඒක ඩිස්කස් කරනවා. ඒක නිසා ඒක අනිවාර්යෙන් කරලා තියන්න. එතකොට හෙට එක්ස්ට්‍රා ක්ලාස් එක 5 to 8 තියෙනවා. ඊළඟට මට පුළුවන් මේ දැන් මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ පොඩ්ඩක් ෆෝස් සීක්ලිප් නෝට් එකක් පොඩ්ඩක් එවන්න දෙලා අපි ලාස්ට් වීක් කරපු ඒක රද්දෙවිල කරපු ෆෝස් සීක්ලිප් එකේ පොඩ්ඩක් මට නෝට් එක එවන්න පුතේ මට පොඩ්ඩක් බලා ගන්න මේ කවුරු එක්ක කරනකොට හොඳයි එහෙනම් අපි ක්ලාස් එක අපි රොට් කරමු පුතේ අපි එහෙනම් අයබෝවන් අපි ආයි 8ට පටන් ගන්නවා ඊළඟ ක්ලාස් එක හරි නැවතේ එහෙනම් අයබෝවන් රෙකෝඩින් දෙනවා පුතේ රෙකෝඩින් එක මේ අප්ලෝඩ් කරනකොට පොඩි වෙලාවක් යනකොට මේක YouTube තමයි අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්නේ මේ මම Zoom එක නෙවෙයි රෙකෝඩ් කරේ හරි මේක මම දාන්න මට අද රෑ දෙන්න අද රෑ රෙකෝඩින් එක දාන්න අද රෑ අද දවල් හරි දාන්න